Hmm. Well, it's Sunday, June 13th, 12th, 12th. 12th. After I sleep for a long time and I wake up, it feels like a different day. And it's like, where does one day begin and the other end? Hmm. But it's been a long day already, and now I'm having the rest of the day that I was having before, separated by a period of sleep. And I've already talked to my mom, and the sun's still up, and it's crazy having so many days in one, and being a part of other people's days too. Mm. It's like living multiple lives, but I've only got the one. And I've also did a little bit of writing, which I was fairly happy with. It was just 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 out of nowhere. I don't know. It's like, who is this person? It comes back to, it's like the person who writes cannot be met. They don't exist. I don't know who they are, but I recognize the writing, and it's like I do have a whole repertoire of, you know, a catalog, an archive even. And it's like, yeah, it's just growing. And but I see elements that are staples throughout the entire process, and some get developed upon and expounded, like finding success in liking of certain phrasings and architectures and combinations of different structures, and it just takes on its own appearance. So anyway, so I talked with mom, and she's still, who knows, but she's still there, still answering the phone, and I don't know. She's never very truthful about what exactly is going on, and you know, it's like, how much do I actually trust her as far as giving me accurate reports? A lot of it is laden with different amounts of information that, with which I used to suspect was all about trying to convince me or lure me into, coming back there to live, to, be a part of her life and take care of her, and be more present and things like that for her. Um, that whatever I was doing here wasn't good and was a waste of her time with me, because my life doesn't really count, kind of thing. And, you know, the old thinking. Now it's a little bit different, but still now she's just more accepting that, I do have a life, whether or not it makes sense to her, or she appreciates it, or um, has any approval of it. Um, and it's not hers to judge. And and she understands that, I'm going to do what I'm going to do and not do what I'm not going to do. And I won't be manipulated, guilt tripped, or shamed into doing what she wants me to do for her, because I was not happy there. And that's why I left. And even just that little visit I had back in 2020, I got all sorts of reminders of, yeah, this is like these behaviors. I didn't like them. And it hasn't gotten better, since I left. A lot of things have intensified and magnified these behaviors. And I just don't want to be around them. And I can deal with them in small doses. But I don't know. So she's already thinking forward because I've already told her that I'm still planning on visiting again in October, and it'll just be for a few days. But she wants to visit an old place that I used to work. I don't know why. I don't know if she has any history of ever being there herself, but I've never been there with her. But she decided that she wants to go there and play some slots over at Charlestown. So I told her that we'll go. And I reminded her that it's very noisy and there's lots of people. At least it was the last time I was there. And no reason to think that it is any different except for the fact that the world has changed. Just that. But yeah, we'll go. Sure, why not? But if she has any lingering hope that it'll kindle some memory of, oh, I really liked it here, I should work here, I should move back home. I don't know. She has these weird fantasies, I guess. But and then we discussed a little bit of my problem with not being in any sort of relationship. Apparently that's a problem for me, for her, I'm not sure. And I reminded her that I'm much happier being alone than I would be than forcing myself to be in a relationship or any sort of anything with the wrong person, or just to be with somebody just for the sake of being with somebody, anybody. And it's like, no, I'd rather be alone. I reminded her that I understand my life and I'm okay with it for the most part, even though it gets lonely. Same as her. She has her own thing. She chose to be alone a long time ago after the divorce, back in the 80s, 1984, 1985. And she chose to stay alone. And yeah. And so part of it is I learned from example, that it's, it can be done. And that's kind of the environment in which I was raised. So it's like I saw a single person, a single mother, and raising her two children, myself being one of them. And we had a family. It was not a typical family, far from typical. It's just myself, mom, and my brother, and that was it. With, relations around, of course, but, for the most part, it was just the three of us. And so, I don't know. But it was the only childhood I've ever known the way it was. I didn't know there was stuff wrong with it. It was just the normal that I was brought up into. And I only got to witness what other families were like. And as always, got to witness what other people were like. And I just recognized early on that I was not like them. I was doing something wrong. Didn't understand like they apparently did. And had whatever instructions to be okay. And they weren't okay. They just seemed better adapted at being assimilated into the culture. Integrated. Like already following prompts into society and civilization, following social hierarchies and structures, and following and adapting and in line with roles that were cast onto them, projected, attributed, given and doled out based on caste and class and assignments. And then how the school and education system just, funnels us into our respective lives. So, anyway. And, let's see. I guess, yeah. And of course, today is the first day of the guy I work with a lot of nights at the store, John. He's on vacation this week, He's traveling with his wife to some resort hotel for at least one night. He told me about it. It sounds like a really nice hotel. Might be haunted, I asked. I'm going to look it up and research it a little bit. And I didn't know Indiana had a place like that. It's very interesting. Historical. It's almost even 200 years old, which is ancient by American standards. If something makes it to 200 years, it's like been there forever. It's our grand history. So he went on vacation, and the other guy that was off vacation is back from vacation. So as far as I'm concerned, it's like I'm not there by myself, which is good. So I don't like when I feel like I have to, take care of everything and coordinate the receipt of the day's trucks. So, but back to writing. That was a little bit undisciplined, I know. Provoking on purpose, trying to gently insist that all is not as what it seems. However that was said. And admitting that I don't even know what is going on, what is being perceived, who is being thought of, when, and the wheres and the why, all of that stuff. It's like I don't even know. So I was like, was it being guessed at that I did know, and it's like something's going on? Because if they know that something's going on, and it's like, well, that's news to me. So I can only guess, since nothing is going on, that it has to have nothing to do with me. Because, yeah. So I can only assume that they're talking about some other situation or person or history. Or, like I mentioned, it might just be, or I'm just curious, that it's some creative endeavor or imagination, expression, or imaginative thinking, artistic expression, license to, delve and explore different emotional facets. So, far be it from me to say different and otherwise. I just have a much more limited audience because I don't want one. And I feel safe and comfortable doing what I do, knowing that, especially once we get past the 15-second mark, when everybody stops watching, they just see whatever they see, and there's like, okay, this guy's just weird, or who knows what they think. But apparently I do things that other people don't do, and no one's interested in, no one cares about, because I'm not addressing or talking about specific subjects. I'm just rambling about what's going on for me and my perceptions of it. And for whatever reason, it's not entertaining, except to me, which is awesome. So it's like, that's one of the reasons I keep doing it, is because I'm entertained by it. So it doesn't really matter if anyone else is or not. And all my opinions and feelings about whatever I'm talking about, yeah, everyone's too busy. Everybody's got their own life. So everybody needs their own channel. But there isn't enough broadband or bandwidth or storage capacity. Well, there probably is. We just invent more. But anyway, I've kind of exhausted where I wanted to go. I just kind of was relatively happy with the little bit of writing I did today, and the little bit I did before. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where I'm going with it. I don't have a plan. The logistics of life are not known to me. I just tend to believe that things are possible. More is possible than what I even dare to conceive of. The world seems insistent, though, or pressing to tell me that I cannot do whatever it is are these things that I am already doing and have done. Just because the world has no idea how these things get done doesn't mean that they can't get done. It just means the world doesn't know how. If I didn't believe in something, if I didn't know better, I just wouldn't be here. I would just be dead. I would just be, immaterial, non-corporeal, returned to the earth, reimagined into the dream of something else, reconstituted. But I imagined possibilities, and possibilities became real. So I keep imagining new possibilities, new potentials, new promises. And some find harbor, and some get recycled. But nothing goes to waste. There's a lesson in everything, and I take what works and go with it. And I take what doesn't work, and I go with it. And allow it to become part of my experience. I don't need to fight it or deny it or pretend it away or hide from it. I can just accept it as it is, and it doesn't matter if it hurts, because everything hurts. Just, some things I take a little bit more. It's like I like the whole. It's like, well, shouldn't I be used to it by now? Shouldn't I be good at it by now? The answer is no. And I think that's a good thing, that it still hurts. When it doesn't hurt, that's when I should be scared. So, it doesn't just means that I'm not dead. And I still have feelings, and that's a good thing, I suppose, even when it's damned inconvenient. So, anyway. I should probably go do something else. I'm tired of talking, and I don't have much left to say. I didn't have much to say to begin with, but I found words anyway. So, for your amusement, here I was. For mine. So, am I real? Who can tell?